There are very few things that end up changing the world forever. This past year has been one of reckoning, reflection, growth, and perseverance. We remember the movement for Black lives that ignited during the summer of 2020. We remember the violent insurrection that was an attack on democracy itself, and the rise of voter suppression. We remember social distancing and solidarity, and how the demand for police accountability has become a nationwide outcry. But we continue to fight.
2020 was one of the most important years of the Lawyers Committee's history because of everything that happened. You had the presidential election, you had COVID-19, you had the racial justice moments caused by the death of George Floyd and other events. And it was a moment that the Lawyers Committee had to meet, and we did. We participated in over 80 lawsuits in 2020 to meet that moment, and we vindicated the rights of Black people and other people of color in those cases.
The current moment is really important for civil rights because we are at a pivotal point in our country. We've experienced a lot of things that highlighted a lot of racial inequalities. We had the pandemic, which highlighted inequalities in housing, healthcare, education.
For almost 60 years, the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law has mobilized a network of leading lawyers in the private bar to provide essential pro bono legal services to tackle the most critical racial justice issues of our time. Today, the Lawyers Committee continues that mission, fighting inside and outside the courts to challenge bad actors who have taken direct action to weaken democracy. We fought against white supremacy and have shown time and time again that we are stronger than hate.
America has refused from its founding to extend the rights of citizenship to every person who lives here. Those we call founders were only committed to property-owning white men, and the law, custom, the economy still accrues to that specific class. On December 12th, a group of Proud Boys and their affiliates came onto our church's property and destroyed our Black Lives Matter sign while chanting whatever racist slogans they were chanting to energize themselves during that criminal activity. And we engaged the Lawyers Committee so that we could get justice for ourselves and to ensure that those who participated in that criminal act are brought to justice. The Lawyers Committee has been, first of all, responsive to our emotional needs after such a devastating event, but more so, they have enlisted extremely gifted legal minds from within the Lawyers Committee and the persons they have pulled together to work on our case. And we feel like we've got the best representation, but also fine human beings who share our vision of what the world should be, that our rights as citizens should in no way be abridged, and that we do whatever is necessary to protect people who are supposed to be considered citizens of the United States of America.
The 2020 election was so incredibly important for our country for so many reasons. One, there had been this notion, this suggestion of voter fraud kind of injected into the national discourse that had so many people in the midst of a pandemic especially concerned. We were concerned about access, about people feeling safe to be able to vote and to remain healthy. It was also a turning point, if you will, in our country in terms of the political divide. And of course, what we do with the election protection effort.
The election protection work is at the forefront of the Lawyers Committee, and the continued struggles and issues involving voting rights. Election protection is a brand. Everybody knows 866 Our Vote, helping voters understand the process, anything from where they vote to whether or not they are eligible to vote.
Criminal justice, voting rights, fair housing, and community development are just some of the issue areas we tackle to advance racial justice for Black and Brown communities.
Everything from the past and the present is something that we have to fight right now. So there's no time to waste, no time to be quiet, no time to really be still. We have to take on every aspect of the most critical civil rights and human rights issues right now. There's an incredible urgency to this moment, and that's what I've learned, that this work has to be done every day with incredible intensity.
Our democracy is hanging in the balance. The Lawyers Committee has been there fighting and will continue to be here, stepping up to the challenges our communities face. We believe in a future where racial justice is at the center of the conversation.
This is a all-hands on deck historical moment, and no organization is better suited to bring talent, resources into that fight. This is the kind of moment for which the Lawyers Committee was created.
Unfortunately, it's still in 2021 as important as ever for firms to be doing pro bono work, because unfortunately there's a current attack on the rights of historically disadvantaged groups, and I think lawyers need to step up and firms need to step up to provide representation to push back against that. It sets the right tone and sends the right message and provide a lot of opportunity to train the next generation of lawyers.
Working with the Lawyers Committee this past year has required me to take a step back and view the world from a different light, understanding that there are issues and disparities in Black and brown communities, and the Lawyers Committee is a place that can effectuate change and solve problems to help those in need and those communities.